serious talking about anime. Guess it's important to hear what they say. Argue over weapons throughout night and day. Now that you listen to the Rant Cafe.
Hey, what's going on, everybody? It's your boy Animac from Anime Uproar, and welcome to a brand new episode of the Rant Cafe Anime Podcast, the craziest podcast in anime. Joining me today are, of course, the guys that are going to scream right now, Nux and Briggs.
Nux and Briggs.
So predictable.
He can't ask me to scream. I scream when I want to scream, not when you tell me to scream, Animac.
I just scream at all times.
Who do you think you are? I am.
Checkmate.
Nice. Checkmate.
And joining us today for the first time on Rant Cafe, a special guest, TheAMaazing, aka Maz.
Hello, everybody. Welcome
Good to have
to
you.
my podcast, The Rant Cafe.
Yay! We were all secretly manipulated behind the scenes by Maz all along.
We are all just animated creations created by Maz.
Yeah, link to his channel in the description. Mad lad, animator, funny dude, saves lives on the side.
To the Rant Cafe OnlyFans, please. Thank you.
Rant Cafe OnlyFans at 100,000 subs. Yeah.
Oh my god.
At 1 million subscribers.
At 1 million subscribers. There we go. Thanks, Briggs.
I got you.
Before we jump into today's topic, which is going to be the most impactful animation moments in anime and how they change what you see and how you experience a piece of media, I just want to give a shout out to the latest chapter of the Rant Cafe Isekai novel, which is now out on web novel. New chapter is called Message from Nuxanor. It is out. You can go read it right now. Drop a power stone, give us a rating, and help the boys, help promote the novel. We're going to be doing a read through. Probably we're going to bundle them like 2 chapters at a time or something, so we're not doing it every week. But definitely look forward to that. We're still going to be doing that as well. But if you can't wait, you can always go and read it. Now, a lot of stuff happened. It's pretty glorious. Nux, you want to start us off on the actual topic?
No, I want Maz, the guest of honor, to start us off with the topic.
Sure. Go ahead,
The
Maz.
most impactful animated anime moments. Take it away.
So is this like in terms of overall impact, or is it like animation wise only? Because
Well,
I've got
I
a
think-
list for both.
I'm focusing more on animation wise, but obviously, if a nicely animated trash show is still trash, like, I mean,
Yeah.
I know a lot of people are fans of like Ufotable, but Ufotable's average anime is garbage. Like,
Yeah.
Ken
Ooh.
Ranbu, bruh, straight
Ooh.
trash.
Me
God
and
Eater?
Animac kind of weren't
go.
like. Sorry, God Eater's trash too. Sorry,
But I don't
sorry,
know
not
if
for
it's
cutting you
Ufotable.
off. But me and Animac were kind of like not against this topic, but we weren't super excited because we're the type of guys who like animation's like the last thing we care about. We're big manga readers, like or at least I am. So it's like the moments I'm going to be talking about are the moments where animation brings the original source material to the next level, type of thing.
Yeah, I'm with you
I-
all the way. I'm not
Yeah,
a
I
huge
agree with you.
animation nerd either. I just feel like it is definitely a valuable topic in anime, which happens to be animated. And also, we have Maz, who's an animator. So I felt like, hey, that's pretty good.
So I think like, you know, if we're gonna talk about good animation that brings that elevates the source material, I do have to bring up Naruto. You know, Naruto's is up there where I think the source material. I'm not gonna lie, guys. Ending last few chapters, garbage, absolute trash, right?
Yeah,
But
I'm with you.
the fight of well, I don't know. Can we spoil Naruto? It's been so many years. I don't know.
Naruto versus Sasuke, Madara versus Hokage, Kaguya.
Okay, yeah, I guess you just nailing it. Yeah, absolutely. Those fights are
Bad.
hella well animated, and I think Giga did a great video kind of analyzing why the subtle movements of how Sasuke and Naruto, they know each other so well that they're blocking each other's movements and habits, which is just like such solid animation, right? Like,
So I'm glad you mentioned Naruto. I wasn't even going to bring it up, to be honest, but I think what Naruto does, as far as hand-to-hand combat, I think it's better than almost any other shonen as far as an adaptation goes. Because most adaptations kind of do a one-to-one, like, Deku punches Overhaul really hard. All right, let's animate the crap out of it. Holy moly, it looks amazing.
terrible arc, whatever.
Okay,
Go on.
let's not get into that, please. Please, no.
My Hero Academia is trash. Yeah.
Dude, so I thought you said you disagree with all my hot takes on Twitter.
I do like My Hero Academia, but I don't think it's. Everybody says it's like a 10 out of 10. It's not. Like it's just not. I'm sorry.
No, it's definitely not. But I do enjoy it, and I especially enjoy the
Yeah.
current arcs in the manga.
Yeah, well,
Yeah,
anyway.
yeah.
One moment. The Deku versus overall Hall fight animated beautifully, but it was a 1-to-1 adaptation from the manga itself. In Naruto, like the hand-to-hand combat is elevated from the manga. Like they add a lot of the in-between scenes. Like if different manga panels are different jutsus, they're gonna add in some hand-to-hand fighting, which just looks phenomenal. Like
Yeah.
Kakashi versus Hidan and Kakuzu, beautiful. It was
Yeah.
amazing.
If
And
anything, I
get
wish
it,
there was
I'm
more
not-
hand-to-hand combat in Naruto. Towards the end of the series, we had a few
Yeah, right.
great moments that were like
Yeah.
awesome to watch, but a lot of it was just like
explosions.
explosions. Who has the best Susanoo
Yeah.
versus Jinchuriki? Oh my God, there's a meteor coming from the sky.
Yeah, I think that's the biggest change in Naruto that a lot of people disconnected with. Like Naruto was built initially upon its characters, and you grow up with the classroom of Neji and Lee, and in Naruto there was consequences. When Lee lost his taijutsu ability, we fucking felt that. That was crazy because we understood what the character's motivations were, and when he lost all of it, we understood it. But then in Shippuden, it got a bit. Everybody had plot armor, and the stakes got so crazy. It just wasn't relatable anymore. Like, hey, yo, I killed all of the Leaf Village, but then I brought them back to life. I'm like, what the fuck is that? What? So I agree. Naruto got really odd and bad because of that, but the animation still is pretty solid. A lot of the comments are like kind of getting into Pain versus Naruto and that arc. Okay, that entire segment when Naruto busts in and he punches a
was
Pain.
amazing.
Oh, dude, that scene is so hype. Like,
Amazing. But I think another, like, as far as the anime adaptation, Kakashi versus Obito, which in the manga it didn't hit me that hard, but in the anime it's one of my favorite fights in the whole series because like
agree.
it kept flashing back from them fighting at the present time to how they fought when they were kids, and like the back and forth. I thought that was amazing.
yeah, no, I definitely agree with you. The consistent, like the editing choices that they use and the music and how it's just like quiet as they fight. It's like, oh fucking A, dude, this is really, really, really good.
Yeah.
If only the manga and the actual story was good. Hey yo, guys, Sakura is a good character, Pogs.
That was the
Goddamn.
best joke I've ever heard.
Yeah, Sakura's a great character.
Yeah.
A lot of people are saying, yo, animation, you gotta talk about Demon Slayer. Dude, Demon Slayer, bad. Don't like Demon
I
Slayer.
love this man.
Yeah.
I think Demon Slayer is like,
I think
it's
it's
like
good.
let's say it's like a 7 out of 10, for example. I think the animation was what brought it up to like
Yes.
an 8.5 for me. you
Because
know?
I've read the entire manga for Demon Slayer, and I'm gonna tell you, it does not get better. It doesn't. And the worst thing is, like,
100%, but go on.
as
All right,
in,
so
sorry,
I never read the Demon Slayer manga. I wasn't drawn in by the anime enough to actually pick up the manga. I will say that some of the animation, like episode 19 was an S tier anime episode. It was phenomenal, but it was mostly the animation and music that brought it to life. As far as the
Yeah.
manga, I have no idea. I didn't touch it, but Animac did. So please, Maz, tell him
No,
why.
absolutely. So the animation is fantastic, and there's no denying that. What I feel like it's so complicated to put into word because it does everything on beat as to what a shonen should do. It has a really engaging world, a very likable character with the powers making kind of sense within the world. A reasonable character motivation of the sister being on the back, but it's just missing that crucial bit of what makes a shonen great for me, which is that kind of which is just a stronger motivation, like Naruto isn't saying I want to save myself from Jinchuriki. He's saying I want to be the Hokage. I want to be the number one in my entire village. I want to be the pirate king. I want to be the best hero. I think having a really long-term motivation like that really stands against the test of time because no matter what happens, you understand that they have a great aspiration to reach for. And I think, him starting off the story, I don't even remember his name, Ejiro or something. I don't know.
Tanjiro.
Yeah,
Ejiro.
Instead of edgy.
Ejiro.
Ejiro, him starting off the story with no motivation, no idea as to the world, and then when he loses his sister, it's like, oh, now I want to be the best samurai to change his sister. Understandable motivation, but when he saves his sister, then what? Is he going to continue with the role? Is he going to stop it? I actually really wanted it to deviate from the normal shonen trope in that regard. Like him, once he refixes his sister, he's like, yeah, I'm done. You know what I mean? Like I actually would have really liked that, like a little subversion from what I was expecting, similar to how Ping Pong the animation did it. Um, I also found the world just not believable enough. Like you're saying in this world, people don't know samurai like this exist. And in the manga, they kind of delve into the world a little bit more, and people there's like apparently political tension between the general people and the samurai, which really isn't explained much. They just write it in one of the chapters, political tension. And I was like, why? Why would there be tension between the people who save you from these abhorrent monsters? You know, I don't get it.
Yeah, so I will agree with you that there should be more politics in this. And
Yes.
I also think that towards the end, you can definitely argue that there's some issues with the final arc. And
Yeah.
also, I think Muzan as a villain should have been developed more with more interesting motivations than just what it ended up being like, I'm a demon,
Well,
whatever.
do you actually think, Animac, that I'm getting vibes that it probably got canceled, man? Like it probably had a limit, and it's like, hey, you need to wrap up the story because the last arc, they retcon a lot of things, man, and that's why I feel that's why I say passionately that it kind of went downhill in the manga. I feel like it was better. Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you
I
off.
can't see them being forced to end something so popular, right?
Yeah, like-
sales were through the roof. Usually, it's the opposite effect. Things like Bleach and Naruto, I feel like were extended longer. Like, because I know you were saying like about what was it? Like sometimes you need that long running goal for a long running story. I think the beauty. I only watched the anime for Demon Slayer. Part of the beauty of it was a short experience for me. Obviously, there's more in the manga, but it didn't seem too long. So that wasn't really a complaint of mine. I like the fact that his goal was just to save his sister. Right, or bring her back to normal and figure out this. There was one enemy. It was simple for something that's not too long. I'm just saying I can't imagine them ending it early when it's doing that well. It's always the opposite.
Yeah, it was doing really well. Anime was really popular, and the manga was overtaking One Piece in sales. So it's definitely not that. Now, whether it was an issue with the author not wanting to continue because she had a story in mind and that's it, I think that's probably what it was. But I think that some of the arcs that are coming up that have not yet been in the anime are far better than what we've seen in the anime. That's why I completely disagree with what you said.
Holy fuck. Ludicrous Fund. Thank you for the 10,000 magical bitches. God
wow.
Ludicrous. Thank you so much.
No, yeah, sorry. I was a bit too generalizing when I said the anime is the highest it gets in the manga. I meant overall in the manga, the final arc is a little so disappointing for me that it kind of eroded a lot of the enjoyment that I had in the manga. There's a lot of good arcs coming up. And honestly, I actually want to kind of expand on that a bit more. I felt that once I read the manga, the anime in comparison had shit tier pacing, dude. The manga is so fast, and it's very much, it keeps you on your toes. Whereas the anime, I felt that they really hammed up on the filler anime, like the comedy aspects way too much. It was so fucking annoying at times, man. Honestly,
I would speaking of animation, when Zenitsu went God mode and killed demons, I was like, "Oh, my boy!"
Speaking of animation, I think my favorite fight in the series was when Tanjiro was against the arrow guy and the ball girl.
Yeah,
I'm very good with names, guys, as you could tell. I love the movement in that fight and how Tanjiro had to learn as he went along with it. It was great. Like you said, like something like My Hero Academia.
Dude. Langert just donated 10,001 bits.
Oh, shit.
We got a war going on.
God damn.
But thank you guys so much, yo.
Thank you.
So Himawari Q-Bear said, I don't think they're forcing the ending. I've got to respectfully disagree because a lot. Okay, I don't want to spoil anything. I don't. But I will kind of mention why I feel that it's getting ended really quickly. A lot of the story arcs that they had been building and a lot of the threads that had been kind of pulling along is really very quickly explained. Not even explained. They just kind of like, oh, this is why. And it's like, oh, you didn't really give us the satisfying conclusion of it. Also, you know how the entire anime they kind of present a possibility of curing the sister. They really throw that away and introduce a completely new mechanic at the end final arc. And I'm just like, what? Why did you do that? You pulled a Rickroll on me, you know?
I must say, with a lot of anime that start off amazing, there's been so many anime that just have terrible endings. I feel like it's not the easiest
No.
to end a story.
No, it's not.
Bro,
it's
I
really
have to
So it
not.
could
say-
just be bad writing.
If someone mentioned on Twitter that if One Piece, I wonder what'll happen if One Piece ending is as bad as Demon Slayer's, and I was shaking because that
Dude.
better not happen. Okay, it better not happen.
the
thing is,
faith
Oda-
that I have in Oda, I
Yeah.
really don't think it's gonna be
Yeah,
bad.
no, I don't think it'll be
Oda
bad.
has Oda
He
has
surpasses my expectations on
Time
every
and
single
basis.
time again. Sorry.
every time, dude. And dude, that guy, man, he had already planned the ending of One Piece for a long time now. A
Yeah.
very, very, very long time now. And he said that we're approaching the final, and you can tell just by the recent chapters that it's definitely approaching, the end game, quote unquote,
If anything,
Well,
they had
I'm
to
excited.
They had to slow Wano down in order to
Yeah.
get all the stuff that we need to set up the end game.
I don't
Yeah.
know, guys, because you guys
It's funny because
are standing Oda a lot. You guys are standing Oda a lot right now. But
Goda.
if he came out and said that he didn't cry for the going married, then you would just turn on him.
Oh, don't even mention that, bro. That actually making me tear up right now, man.
Take that, bitch, Animac.
Bro,
Animac
dude.
just read that arc and he didn't feel anything for the going
No.
married, dude.
No, it's
No.
not true. You're lying. I felt something. I just didn't cry. That was the only issue.
No, dude, listen, like that entire arc, like what gets me more is Usopp saying like, "Yo, take me back," and they ain't taking him back, right?
No, don't spoil. He didn't get there yet. He's right up to
Okay,
there.
I won't
Don't
say
spo-
anything more. I didn't say the actual spoiler, so I'm glad.
yes,
Okay.
yes.
Okay.
No, but like I had tears in my eyes for like
That was
the Rob-
close.
for the
Yeah,
Robin
that
moment.
part had me bawling my eyes out, bro. I
Yeah.
couldn't believe
So
that
apparently
shit.
Oda cried while drawing the going married scene. So.
Oh,
Yeah.
shut up.
So,
Shut
but
up.
I think a large difference is like because
Oh.
we've been doing the One Piece Virgin podcast. You've been like you're doing manga only, so you don't have the music, you don't have the animation, like bringing that to life and getting you emotionally dedicated. But also, we've been flying through the manga pretty fast.
Even though some people complain that we don't go fast enough.
So I feel
Yeah,
like
I
for
think
me
it's
it was a
up to
longer
150.
journey. Like I watched it over like the course of an entire summer.
That's
Yeah,
not
but
a
I-
longer journey, dude.
I spent
I
4 to
definitely
5
had-
months watching
I
300
hold on,
episodes. That's a longer journey.
I definitely had very emotional moments though already in the story, just the manga. Yeah, like I said, the Nami hat moment, the Robin moments,
Yeah.
the Alabama
down the
ending
flag.
moment with the X's. I loved all of that. So I mean, you can still get the emotion from the manga. But back on topic of what we're talking about, yeah, the animation in an anime and the music and all the stuff that comes with it that is different from a manga does really contribute to the experience if done well. If not done well, then you get pissed off and you're like, this isn't as good as the manga, bro.
So
yeah,
like
that
in
happens
One
to me with
Piece-
One Piece all the time because One
I'm
Piece
glad we
animation's
mentioned One Piece
kinda
because
doo-doo.
One Piece animation is kind of doo-doo very often, but there are some moments that the animation in One Piece absolutely kills. Like Drum Island when Luffy climbed that mountain, or even honestly the Going Merry scene in the anime was way better than in the manga.
Mhm.
And dude, in Sabati Archipelago, bro, a certain punch of Luffy's blew my balls off.
We can't talk about it.
bro.
We can't talk about it, but it was
But I'm
amazing.
not
We
gonna talk. But I'm not
can't,
gonna
bro.
talk about it.
Bro,
And also, I
you
mean, that
tell me
first
Luffy develops a technique for punching people's balls off. Like that's
Luffy
a big
punches-
spoiler.
No,
this is
so-
like fourth wall ball punching.
It's,
Mod-
It's
it's
amazing.
moments
So-
like that really like I don't want to talk about the One Piece one because obviously spoiler, but it's
Right.
moments like that where it's like not the power up and stuff, it's the one punch, that singular thing that kind of drives it. Like the same thing in Gurren Lagann, like when I forget what's his runt's name. It's a white guy name. I forget his name.
Simone?
Simone,
Yeah,
Hero.
Simone. When he gets punched, that one singular punch, and it's just like, yes, this is dope. This is so fucking
Well,
good.
this guy knows how to get to me, bro. I thought you said you didn't know anything about me, Nux.
He doesn't, which is why he roasted my hero. He
Just
roasted
be-
Demon Slayer.
just
he
be
just spit
careful.
facts. He just
Yeah,
spits
just-
facts.
like just
Gurren
be
Lagann
careful
is
though,
my favorite
because
anime of all time. That's why I said that.
I've got like very, I guess strict. Like my number one thing in anime is consistency in tone, right? So like if you're consistent, even if you're consistently bad, I don't mind it. It's when you shift tones from what you were in the start that really fucks with me. So that's why I really didn't like Naruto's ending. I hate the what's that train one? The fucking the
Uh,
that stupid ass train anime where it's like
Iron
remember.
Fortress one.
yeah.
Cabaneri.
Cabaneri. Oh
Yeah.
God, why would you even mention that?
No, I told so the beginning was so good that I actually told people like, "Yo, this is gonna be the anime of the season," and then the ending,
It was
holy
terrible.
fuck,
It was
Terrible.
so bad.
But
Terrible.
did you?
All right, so what is your favorite anime, Maz?
Favorite anime, I've got a few. Steins
Alright,
Gate
go for
is
it.
up there.
Let's
Yeah.
Yeah, Steins Gate is so consistent with its tone that it's just like, mwah, you know. And I like Steins Gate. I like Higashi no Eden, which is like
Higashi no
a,
Eden.
a lot of people have not seen it. It's such a bizarre.
That Eden of the
creature.
East.
What, Eden of the
Yes,
East?
yes,
Oh,
Eden
yeah,
of the
I've
East.
seen it.
Yeah.
I've seen it. It's really funny.
It's like bizarre. It's a weird battle royale. I really liked it through and through. Like honestly,
Well, I'm writing
Um,
this down right now. So
obviously, Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood. I do love. I
right.
recently watched it again, and I always gave it a 9.5, and I think I still give it a 9.5. But you know, it is up there.
It's
Um,
pretty good.
I actually have
Hey,
a
that's pretty
big.
good.
I have a big love for Baby Steps, which is
Okay.
the tennis
That's
anime.
anime.
I wouldn't. It's just because it's like.
Wait,
it's
all
got
these
the-
that you mentioned, they surpassed One Piece for you?
Oh, obviously, I thought we just weren't mentioning the obvious choice. Yeah, duh. Like,
I love it.
I love this
yeah,
guy.
yeah. One Piece is a 10. It's like saying, "Oh, water's wet." It's like, what the fuck? Yeah, duh.
Oh, I'm so happy.
Yeah, whatever.
There we go.
Yeah. If somebody somebody
Miles,
once asked me, "Oh, what's up?"
what do you think of ReZero then? Because I felt it had a lot of tonal shifts that were off-putting.
Yeah.
Yeah, but the tonal
So-
shifts were part of the beauty, though, in ReZero.
Okay, so there's a difference between tonal shifting within an
And
anime
quality.
and shifting it to a point where it's disruptive to your suspension of disbelief. Like if you actually because I recently rewatched the original Full Metal Alchemist and then the Brotherhood, and that's a perfect example of how to do a tonal shift correctly. In the original, within battles and within tense scenes, they would break that immersion to have like a gag or two, and that would completely ruin your experience of watching the original. Whereas in Brotherhood, they did it in a more tactful, in a more like kind of low key way, where it still maintained that suspense and tension, but you kind of had moments of levity to keep it not stagnant. And I think yes, you could argue that ReZero did have moments where it kind of pulled away from it, but it wasn't so bad to the point where it destroyed the suspension of disbelief. I still believe that Subaru was going to die a horrible death. I knew he was going to suffer. It didn't make me be like, oh yeah, this is now a happy movie, a happy series. This guy is going to suffer more. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I agree with you on ReZero.
I was hoping to get more from ReZero in terms of the whole Game of Thrones aspect at the beginning. It's like who's going to be queen, and then it just
Well,
goes,
that wasn't even at the beginning. That was only really introduced halfway.
and then it goes into this whole like horror movie shtick.
I don't
Yeah.
dislike the tonal shifts in ReZero. I just felt like it was kind of all over the place with the story.
Yeah, I think that's why I don't give ReZero like obviously a 10 or even a 9. I kind of give it an 8. It's exactly because of that. The story could have definitely been tighter. I feel like a lot of some of it could have just been cut altogether, to give a more cohesive story. But
You know how like
it
Fate
was-
Zero and like these games based on visual novels have these
Well,
different
Fate Zero
roots?
was not based on a visual novel.
Or whatever, Fate Stay
Fate Stay
Nights
Night.
and Unlimited Blade Works have like these different Fate roots or whatever. It almost felt like they took a bunch of different roots and just threw them together with these weird all over the place arcs for ReZero. Obviously, I know it's not a visual novel. I'm just giving like a comparison.
No, I hear that. I
Yeah.
hear that.
Full Metal Alchemist is original is whack. People are agreeing. Yeah, it's whack. You're right.
Yeah.
Back
I
to
agree.
what matters. One Piece.
No.
So one Piece has bad animation. We all agree, but there's some really hype moments, and I won't
Yeah.
talk about the fight. But there's a certain fight. Okay, fuck it. I can say names. Screw you, Animac. Katakuri versus Luffy animation. Mwah!
Oh, dude.
Oh my
Dude.
lord.
Yeah, that
Yeah,
shit.
that was beautiful. That was
Yeah,
beautiful.
I have no idea what that is.
Honestly, getting into Wano though, like I was one.
Don't-
They changed up the animation for Wano a little bit, and the first fight's like Zoro with like that stupid little, the knife,
Yeah.
the seppuku knife that people commit suicide with. With that little knife, he's like slicing like mountains apart. I mean, it was great. That was beautiful.
We do need to be careful though, Maz, with One Piece because Animac we have an entire podcast based on him being a virgin.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah. So that's why I know
Right.
about that one because I've been listening to it a little bit and getting hyped with hearing about Animac going through
Well,
One
that
Piece. So,
said, Maz, you want to join?
um,
Oh, but
Maybe.
bad news. It'll be 6 a.m. for you. We do it.
no, never mind.
No.
Never mind.
Right.
Yeah, go on.
Yeah,
Forgot
like-
about that. But
honestly,
so
like
yeah,
I love the takes that people are having in the comments as well. Like, this is honestly so much fun. Somebody said Gurren Lagann earlier, and okay, this is gonna be. I need to sit down for this. All right, so Gurren Lagann's tonal shift did break it for me, man. Honestly, that final that final politics that comes out of nowhere, huh?
Like at the
What?
very end.
no, I
yeah,
think
like
you
the-
mean like halfway. Like
Is that halfway or is that like I thought it was the second half.
think
Or
about halfway where Rossyu and he was talking about taking over, and they
No,
have to imprison Simon and all that.
I love shonen. It's what I grew up on when I lived in Japan and I grew up in Japan. That's literally all I consumed. So I love shonen. And I don't mind it if there are random power-ups because power of friendship and stuff, right? Obviously there are limitations when Deku went 1,000,000% and was fine afterwards, huh? Excuse me. Hello?
Yeah, that was
Um,
annoying. That was annoying.
Bad writing. And
writing.
so
I mean,
with
Dude, you're not even reading the My Hero manga. You haven't seen the beginning of Deku's ass pulls. But I mean, to get back on the animation discussion,
yeah.
Gintama is flooded in the chat because the rage moments in Gintama are fantastic. But I really don't want to spoil any of that.
Yeah, don't spoil
Dude, we
it.
haven't talked about Mob Psycho or One Punch Man. What are we doing?
I know. Don't worry. I have that listed. I
was
really
gonna
do.
say that I think the most impactfully animated moment for me, at least recently, Mob Psycho going 1,000% when he thought his family was killed.
That was
Yeah, that was
insanely impactful.
That
When he did that, and the whole screen was like shaking, and the darkness was like pouring out of him, and you only saw like these lamp-like eyes. I was like,
So,
I was
I literally
shivering, bro.
I have chills right now just thinking about that. Like, yeah, no, that
Was a great moment. Gurren Lagann is still best anime, but that was a great moment. And
Gurren Lagann is good. I just feel like there's some moments in which it kind of pulls away. Like there's literally a scene in which they rip through the time-space continuum and they throw an enemy into it and they never explain what the fuck that was. And I'm like, what? Huh?
what do you mean, bro? It's the power of the human spirit. The power of human spirit, bro. You have to feel it. You can't understand it with your mind. You have to feel it with your heart.
Dude, that's so whack. I was just like, yo, what the fuck? Dude, the ass pull.
No, but this is
What
Animac.
absolutely.
Everything has to be grounded in reality for Animac. Bro, it's a boat. Why would I cry over a boat? Meanwhile, there's little hedgehog thing turns into Sonic the Hedgehog Man.
The whole point of Gurren Lagann, is that like a big fuck you to what is supposed to be realistic and practical. And
Yeah, so is One Piece.
No,
There's an island in
not
the
always.
sky.
not always,
no.
because One Piece also relies a lot on like scientific stuff and things like that. So it's a balance in One Piece. And I'm not saying it's bad. I'm just saying that,
Realism is so subjective in anime, though. I feel like the internal realism of the world is way more important than what we believe in. Like Dr.
Facts.
Stone and
Facts.
One Piece and all of them, yet they have their own internal realism. And if I can believe that, I can believe anything. You know what I mean? I have no trouble believing in Fullmetal Alchemist that you can resurrect humans. Not really. You know what I mean? Because it's just what they've built. And I think with Gurren Lagann, I do love the hype. I love the spirals. But when they pulled that, it broke a lot of the rules that they had set up and they didn't establish it clear enough.
I mean,
And
as
so
much-
that's why it pulled me away from the immersion. I was like, oh, what was that? That was
Dude.
what was the spiral there?
As much as I love memeing on Gurren Lagann because Animac loves it, I have to say that didn't annoy me at all.
No,
Like,
I think
yeah.
For me, Gurren Lagann was built as a world that's constantly one-upping itself, completely based on a dream to push further. Like, the idea, even going into this fight where you have these massive mechs against humans, and Kamina has a sword, okay? And he's like, you know what? I'm gonna steal that. Like, that's the first fight, pretty much. And
No, I love
we're
Gurren
like,
Lagann. I don't want to make
bro,
it sound
what?
like I don't.
Well, anyway, but it's kind of getting off topic.
Yeah, so
Yeah,
Gurren Lagann is all about paradigm shifts and seeing beyond the paradigm, which is something that most people can never do. So it's like a symbol of that in anime form. But I mean, what was I gonna say?
The thing I like about logic in Gurren Lagann is it's always evolving, just backwards.
Oh, okay. Somebody mentioned a great story. Like okay, let's wrap up Mob Psycho. I think Mob Psycho, that scene of 1000%, that was wild. So Mob Psycho just throughout had a fantastic animation. Season 1, season 2, crazy. Season 2, episode 1. So I had forgotten about Mob Psycho 1. I was like, I don't remember. I remember it being a good show, but I don't think I care about it anymore. And then I watched season 1 of episode 2. Had me crying, bro. That shit. I couldn't believe how well they captured like comedy and drama.
Yeah,
And
so
then-
I'm kind of
Mob Psycho's a legend. It's
I'm kind of in the
Yeah.
same place as you, Maz, because the first season I enjoyed it when I was watching it, but I wasn't like, yo, this is a great anime. I can't wait for it to come back. But then when I watched the second season, I thought it was actually better than the first.
Yeah, absolutely. Agreed.
Way better. What do you mean actually better? Bro, it was fantastic. Are you kidding me? We got the self-defense rush. Are you
No,
out of
I
I
your
love
mind?
both seasons so
the
much.
season
But
was
yes,
perfect.
I was definitely looking forward to season 2 off of season 1. I loved season 1, but season 2 was definitely a step up without a doubt.
Season 2 blew all my expectations apart. Like I had it at a bar like that. I expected it to have a certain level of quality, and it completely surpassed what I was expecting.
I agree. And so like the openings of both seasons are mwah, 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 mwah,
Oh,
you know what
yeah.
I mean? I'm recently I'm rewatching a lot of the anime I like, right? So all the 10s and 9s that I'm giving, and so I'm rewatching Mob Psycho right now, and it's great. And speaking about season 2 being better than season 1, that is not the case for One Punch Man at
Yeah,
all.
that is true. I think One Punch Man is a great example of having animation and music enhance the experience, because like One Punch Man kind of just has like one ongoing gimmick. Like it has a bunch of other funny jokes as well, and I think it's hilarious, action-packed series. But
Yes
at the
and
end of
no,
the day,
man.
it ends in a punch. So if you have
No,
great
but you're all-
animation, if you have great animation and these great fight scenes prior to it, it just makes that moment at the end of the fight that much better. Because I read the manga
I
as
agree
well.
with you. I agree with you. Did you ever end up reading the manga?
I read
for
the
One Punch
manga
Man?
and the webcomic.
Bruh, wow. So you realize that after season 1 of One Punch Man, it's not all about that gimmick.
Oh, you get the entire world and all the other characters
Right.
are a main
right.
focus as well. But I'm saying in season 1, that gimmick is very, very important. And without the animation that I think Madhouse brought to the table, I don't think those moments would have landed as hard.
Dude,
But
I think even though everyone says Saitama versus Boros, and Saitama versus Boros is like
No, Saitama versus Genos, that one spar.
Saitama versus Genos.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, baby. That's
That
where
shit
it's
is-
at.
That
Both
shit
are amazing.
slaps.
Both are amazing. I very much liked the dream sequence that Saitama had.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah,
in the
That
first
was
episode.
beautiful.
But dude, Genos is trying his hardest. He's like showing everything in his repertoire, and Saitama's obviously like totally fine with it. And then when Saitama actually turns to punch him, Genos is looking death in the face. He felt like he was about to be eaten by hell. Like when you saw that massive fist approaching his like tiny body because of the frame of reference
I want
that scene,
season
and then he
3.
just stops in front of him. I was like, oh.
I want season 3 so badly.
Yeah.
yeah, but the thing
You
about
see,
One
the
Punch
manga's
Man,
gorgeous though.
the thing about One Punch Man though is very interesting because we are having a debate here about or discussion about animation and the importance of it. But One Punch Man started off as a webcomic,
With
which
the
is
worst art
terrible.
style of all time.
I know, terrible art style, and then it became a manga with some of the best art style. And then in the anime, first season was amazing, second season different studio, not as amazing. So One Punch Man, it's kind of like a microcosm of the entire debate about animation in one series.
That
At
said,
the end of the day,
second
Score.
season wasn't that bad. Second season gets more crap
It
than
wasn't.
it deserves.
No,
It
I know
wasn't
it wasn't
that
that
bad.
bad. It's
I
such
think
a high
it's because
bar was
right, people were expecting so much more due to how amazing season 1 was. Season 2 did not, it didn't get there. But like for example, Garo versus all those A and B class heroes, that fight was beautiful.
I agree.
I love that fight.
Because I think, like Animax said, this blew up off of like a webcomic or whatever that didn't look that great. At the end of the day, the characters and the story and the jokes are what are most important. So I still think season 2 was entertaining. I don't think season 2 was like one of the best parts in the manga as well. So it's like you got bad animation and overall you get a tonal shift in season 2 where they start to focus on these other characters, and I think people weren't ready for that.
Yeah, Nux is gonna be like, Garo, bro, Garo.
Garo's great.
Garo's amazing, bro. I mean, you're the only one here that doesn't like him as a character.
I don't dislike him. I'm just not like a simp for him, you know.
I think he's top 5 anime villains of all time.
Oh my god.
I don't think that, but I like Garo as a character because of the small nuances that they kind of add for him. You know, you can because he always says.
I am referring to manga, by the way. If you only watch the anime, then
I see.
I agree with you.
Manga Garo gets, you know.
Yes,
The season 2 Garo though, like they're building it up. What I really loved about Garo when watching in the anime was that he always says, "Oh, I'm gonna kill everyone," but then he just never does. You know, he can't actually do it.
So there's this one scene in the manga that I don't really mind spoiling because I mean,
no, I haven't read too far into it, so please don't spoil it.
It's just one little scene where I don't know if I should spoil it. Did you get to where the Monster Association was like trying to recruit him and
Isn't that in season 2?
Oh,
it is in season
that sounds
2.
like it happened in the anime.
That happened in the anime, but then when he actually met up with like the head honchos of the Monster Association.
I have not.
Okay, so I can't say
Yeah.
anything. But Garo's top 5 anime villains for me.
I've read
Anime
that part.
/ manga. He's top 5. I'd say my top 5 are him, Kira from JoJo's, Hisoka from Hunter x Hunter.
So wait, Nux, did you read to the end of like the main fight with Garo?
Which one?
In the webcomic, not in the manga. Where okay, never mind. Fuck it. We can't talk about that.
Yeah, we can't.
Yeah. Okay.
All right, sports
I'll
anime.
make
You
sure
said you
to
like
read
Baby
it.
Steps, Maz. What do you feel? How do you feel about Haikyuu animation and like Hajime no Ippo animation? If you've seen it.
Ooh, I've seen both of them, man. Haikyuu, man. Okay, Haikyuu is one of my favorites. You know, the new season, the twins get introduced, and the twins can fucking step on me. You know. But I feel like Haikyuu has what I've been kind of craving and why it's so popular. It's got fucking heart for days on end, bro.
Yeah.
Like that shit of caring about your teammates and caring about the opposing team is so much more effective.
It does definitely give One Piece vibes. I have to
Yeah,
say.
That heart of because it's the same thing as One Piece. In One Piece, you don't necessarily hate the villains, not really. You kind of still love the villains, and with them being like, I love Don Flamingo. I really do.
Right. I was about to say, I think Oda gets better with villains as he goes on. Like where Animac is up to, the only real villains he met are like Crocodile, Enel, and Lucci,
Arlong,
right?
And
Arlong.
Yeah,
but he didn't get to Fishman Island, so like you don't understand Arlong.
Yeah, how
yet.
dare you not mention Spandam? Clearly,
and
well
Spandam.
developed.
Oh,
the
and
most
bro,
well-developed
Wapol, bro, best
Yeah,
villain
bro.
of all
It's
time.
between Wapol and Spandam for me,
Yeah.
personally.
Nice. We're
But
proud of you. But like
Haikyuu
later
is
in
One Piece.
One Piece, where like Doflamingo, Katakuri, Big Mom, like some of these villains are like, oh, bro, like you start feeling them.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and I feel like Haikyuu excels in making their villains, quote unquote antagonists, like really likable. I love Oikawa.
Oikawa's my favorite character in Haikyuu.
Yeah, I love Shiro Torizawa's Ace. I love the new characters that we get introduced. And I love each of their characters, and I think that really genuinely enhances the experience because you don't necessarily want either side to lose. You want to see how they work it out. And dude, animation enhancing scenes. like the entire end of season 1 when they go against Oikawa. Oh, bro,
Yeah.
that animation was
The
lit.
thing with like Haikyuu and like even Ippo, or like they're sports anime that are somewhat grounded in reality. They're not like
Yeah.
it's not like Kuroko no Basket, and Kuroko no Basket is great in its own right. A lot of people are
Yes.
big fans, but like it's grounded in
Yes.
reality. But they still need to like use animation. They definitely do to enhance these moments of a big spike or a big serve. And Oikawa, you could feel how hard he's slapping that ball, or like
Yep.
when
He
they spike
slaps,
it,
bro.
dude.
Slap like on this video.
Dude, I
because of
love-
how Oikawa slaps that ball.
Like obviously you don't need to watch volleyball to appreciate Haikyuu at all, or play volleyball, but like dude, I love the moment where like they look down at their hand and they see it all red, because that happens to
Dude.
me all the time, and I could just like I don't know, I just relate so much to like some of these moments.
Oh,
And
like speaking of
Okay.
animated moments,
Wait,
dude.
let me
When-
go off on Haikyuu for just
Yeah, I was
this
gonna.
one
No,
bit.
I was gonna mention Haikyuu. My
Okay,
favorite
okay.
animated moment in Haikyuu is when Kageyama and Hinata go to Shiritorizawa to just kind of see how it's going, and like
he
the
figures
ball
the ball?
gets flying out, and it's flying at the ace,
boy.
and he's about to block it, and right after he says he calls Hinata useless, like you're so short, and also you're from this no-name school, you're like the pavement, you know. And he's like,
Yeah.
he jumps in front of him, he catches the ball right in
Yeah.
front of his face, and he hands it to him. And the way the animation, how like he turns his face to him with like his wide eyes, and he's like, "Hey, it's
I love
Hinata here from the pavement," you know, like, oh
Yeah, I'm from the
Bro.
concrete. Yeah.
on the
I-
concrete, dude.
I love it, dude.
Man,
Dude,
that
okay,
scene.
I'm not gonna spoil this scene because I genuinely think it's one of the best scenes in Haikyuu, and this is my favorite, and I love it to death. Throughout the entirety of Haikyuu, they always animate this one character in a very minimalistic way. They never make him move. They really have him reserved in animation. Even when something tragic's happening, this one character does not move. Okay, and this character is Tsukishima, right?
Who?
So Tsukishima, like the blocker, the blonde.
Oh, that's like my
Dude,
favorite
no,
moment
no,
in
no.
all of.
I know. Let me go up, and then they've never animated him very much. They never do. And then in season 3, there's a moment in which
When he
he
screams,
does something.
oh my
He does something really intense, and then
Mhm.
they, for the first time, animate him really fluidly, and he's like, "Yeah!" Like, he
Not
yells.
just fluidly, because he's always like, it's not just that they don't animate him, like he's not passionate per se about
No.
volleyball. And then after he does that thing that you mentioned, how he just like he screams and he's shaking, and you can see like the character development, and oh my god!
When you have that one moment in
Bro.
volleyball, you'll start loving it, and he's like, "Yeah!" It's like, "Oh, it's so good." That
Dude,
entire
I'm
scene.
telling you, man. I've said this for a while. Haikyuu is the best modern shonen.
Yeah, it's up there.
I mean, it's
It's
no
really,
Food
really,
Wars, but
really
okay.
up there.
Oh,
I'm
dude.
kidding.
Guys, so if you're gonna keep going like this, I'm gonna start talking about like the amazing animation of Keijo and Gates of Bubalon. So instead of doing that,
Oh,
I
by
want
the way, Maz, just to fill you in, Animac has no appreciation of sports anime because it's just a sport, bro.
Yeah.
no, I mean, I just not something that I gravitate towards. But I mean, I
that-
respect that
to
other
be fair,
people
you never
like it.
tried it, so okay.
Well, I've seen Keijo.
Yeah, I think a similar. I think a similar kind of argument, just to kind of relate it to you, Animac, is that a lot of people don't give Gurren Lagann the love it deserves because they look at it and they just say it's a mecha anime. And is it incorrect? It's not, but it's not just a mecha anime.
But it's not
a mecha-
correct either. You're right. It's not.
Yeah,
incorrect, but it's not
exactly. You
correct.
know, and so I think Haikyuu that's what I always say to Haikyuu. Yes, it is a sports anime, but there's just so much more than that. You know.
No, I know,
and
and
so-
I've heard great things about, and I actually like
Yeah.
volleyball as a sport too. So
Oh.
I mean, I will definitely eventually watch it. I just know it's a lot of episodes, so I've been lazy, is what I've been.
Yeah. Like
It's
I
not
think
that many.
honestly,
it's less than
that's
75.
fine. Yeah, it's fine. Like as long as I think as long as we're all watching anime, it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
At the end
it
of
is
the
worth
day,
your time.
after One Piece, we'll be able to do the Haikyuu version, and it'll be fantastic.
Yeah. By the way, before we continue, I just want to give a quick shout out to the Rank Cafe patrons. We now have 146 patrons supporting the podcast and the light novel. Thank you guys so much. And I have to give a special shout out to 2 patrons, Maltar Senpai and Future Mech, because on our patron Discord, I had this game going on with the patrons. If they could spot a specific reference to a meme that was a little subtle in the latest light novel chapter, and these 2 got it. So congrats, guys. I'll try to throw in stuff like that in future chapters as well.
Right. Isn't Keijo the one with the big butts? Is
Saying Keijo
Yes!
is just big
Yes!
butts is such a weak
damn,
mindset.
Animac really
Such a
horny
weak
on main,
mindset, man.
dude.
Bro,
Mr. Horny over here.
Bro, what do you mean horny, bro? You think Keijo is just butts and ass? Like, do you not understand the complex
Bro.
philosophy, the physio dynamics? Like, you should know, bro. You should know the bodily
His
functions
fucking eyes
going on
glowing
there.
in
Like,
the
it's
little
so
picture right here.
complex.
That right here is him being horny on main. The eyes glowing and shit. Damn, bro.
you're looking at the wrong guy.
So I think chat's gonna rip like my face apart if I don't talk about Ippo just a little bit here.
Yeah.
Without a doubt, like I've been reading the manga as well. Without a doubt, the animation and especially the sound, in my opinion,
Yes.
brings the fights to life.
Yes.
If you look at a Dempsey roll in real life, it's just a dude.
It looks boring.
It's just a dude
boring.
punching from both sides. When Ippo
Yeah.
does the Dempsey roll, there's fucking
feels
car
crazy.
engines going on. You see the after, image of him moving, the impact of his punches.
Also,
Oh
you
my
see, like, the
lord!
waves
Does
in
the
the air.
animation and the sound bring these fights and the impact that you feel? Like, dude, I feel the hits when they make the sounds. Like, it's crazy.
Ippo is so fucking good. Like genuinely, like I couldn't believe because I only watched Ippo recently, like 3 years ago. I was like, fine, it's an old anime, but I'll watch it. But I was like, I was glued, dude. I couldn't stop watching it at all. I love that show, man. Honestly,
To this day, it's my favorite sports anime of all time.
yeah.
Yeah, what you guys got to understand though is volleyball, basketball, they're just sports. But Keijo is a way of life. It's like
Right.
a kung fu. Like it's
Right,
a kung fu, bro. You got to go through the different Shaolin
I actually
circles.
heard
You
that
know,
they're gonna use that technique in Last of Us 2. So that's that's actually gonna be the Ellie's gonna pop her out. Jesus Christ. Okay. um, a lot of the comments are talking about Ippo and then, like, they're just happy. But Attack on Titan, man, people are
Bruh.
really wanting us
Levi
to talk
versus the Beast Titan is one of the most impactfully animated moments I've ever seen. Also,
yeah. Well, you didn't vote for it as best anime fight scene of 2019.
about it.
because
Let
it
me
wasn't.
think. Let me think. I think that's definitely like Levi's Fury. When
Yeah.
I think that's probably the highlight of the anime so far. The manga has definitely got
Oh
some.
man,
Yeah, definitely.
yeah, the
got
manga
some.
surpassed the anime by a lot.
Yeah, I really love moments in which the animation also enhances not just the fight scene, but some of the subtler moments. That's why I loved Tsukushima scene in Haikyuu. But in this one, when they animate the shot, I don't want to spoil the actual thing, but when they reveal a few of the characters in a very unorthodox way, where it's like, I am the villain. Huh? What are you talking about? I am the
Yeah,
villain.
that's gonna blow the community to pieces, man.
The only reason I really like that is because when the animation happened, they pulled some really subtle animation moves. Like they made the movement, like the way it was cut, just like, I'm the villain. It's like,
Yeah.
huh? And they kind of like the really small nuances to the animation really added that to me, because in the manga it's just still frames, obviously, but in the animation it was just like, oh, I really liked the movement that they did. I don't want to
agree.
say.
I agree. A lot of people think that is like a random scene and they didn't like it, but I liked it because it was so random. It was so uncanny. It was like, what the fuck?
Yeah, I mean,
Maybe
I'm not a
the
huge fan of
audience-
that scene, to be honest.
Yeah.
But the anime definitely elevated it. Like the way then they're like, wait, what? And then Mikasa just pushes
Yes.
in immediately.
Yep.
And then the lightning bolt comes down. Like
Yep.
that was well done. It was really well done.
That scene, I think, did like for the first time, because I think whenever a series breaks a trope and makes it subversive for me, that's when I kind of get interested. And I think in anime, you have this expectation of knowing all the pieces as the reader, and then when it happens, you're like, oh, the hype, like same as One Piece, same as a lot of shonen. And so when the manga and the anime made you as confused as the characters in the series, like, huh? Because from their perspective, that is how they would learn it. There's no way they could learn it any other way, And then when we had the same like experience, I was like, oh, I like this a lot. I really like that it made me like that, Like it made me so disoriented. And the way the manga and the anime were both shot and cut and like framed, it was just like a conversation happening on one side with this big reveal, and on the other side they're talking about potatoes.
Yeah.
You know what? It's
Yeah.
like oh, so strong. Oh, what the? Oh, whoa.
Wow, ludicrous fun. 25 tier 1 subs. Thank you.
Yeah, I
Hell
was gonna say
That's
like, dang.
Today he's coming
Ludicrous
in with those
fun,
ludicrous
bro.
funds.
Yeah,
Oh my
he's just
God.
he doesn't know where to flex next. He flexes with the bits. He flexes with the subs. Just a mad lad.
Yeah.
I
We
think
think
Animax.
he's-
Like,
I
this
saw
guy's
people
like
mention in the chat a certain moment in the final episode of the Vinland Saga anime that was animated really, really, really nicely.
Oh, so well.
Like when what's his name? My name is Lucius Artorius Castus, and an ugly face like yours should not be on a king's body.
Yeah.
It was just
No,
like,
that was also a
bro!
shocking scene, just like so shocking out of nowhere.
Yes,
But
it came
my
out
God.
of nowhere.
Dude, okay,
That was
y'all, like this. I'm so happy I'm here because I never get to weeb out like this because a lot of the people in the animation community just don't watch anime. But now I
oh,
can kind
that
of
is
go.
such a weak mindset.
I know because they're
Langert with
whatever.
20 tier 1 subs. The
There you
competition
go.
continues.
I love that. Langit doesn't want to be taken down. Yeah, I won't spoil, but like, dude, some of the shit, like, okay, now I'm gonna get into like actual smaller, not so mainstream anime. Have you all seen like March Comes In Like a Lion? That
Of course.
animation,
Yeah.
dude. Okay, so it's a series built with the kind of thematic, the theme of anxiety and loneliness and isolation and how you kind of cope with that and how you move on and find new passions, right? It kind of taps into mental illness and
Yeah.
whenever he gets into this kind of like anxiety or depressive state, the animation changes to like this really paint brushed
Right.
animation.
It's very matted, like dull, dreary.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's so
Yeah, I like
effective.
that.
Oh, speaking of
I
which,
agree.
So
have you seen Welcome to the NHK?
Yeah.
Yes. I really liked that. You know, I once again I don't know if I can how deep in spoilers I can get, but like the progressive decline in mental state, like you could just see it. You know, you see it happening, and you're just like, oh fuck, I don't want this guy to
Dude, and then welcome to the NHK. They're like, wait a second, and he joins like this weird suicide cult at one point.
yeah.
But like he didn't even know what he
bro.
was doing
No,
necessarily.
he didn't
Oh.
realize. And then once he was there, he actually started like considering it. You know what? Maybe. I mean,
Yeah, that
peer pressure.
honestly,
Fuck.
50 or
no.
10?
UB with 10 tier 1 subs. Holy
Yeah.
crap. Thank you.
But no, yeah, I agree. Like that definitely made me like super uncomfortable, but I in like a good way. You know, it's just like, oh, I don't want him to, like, you know, yeah.
Yeah, that's like a difficult anime to watch, but also great in its way,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Have you seen Fooly Cooly?
Yeah, way back when I was a child, so like ages ago. I don't remember too much. I remember liking Fooly Cooly, but not like I didn't think it was like a great life-changing anime as a lot of my friends do.
Yeah, I recommend rewatching it because it's only 4 episodes, and the animation and music are both such a key part of it because it's such a kind of surrealist anime in a way, and the animation really plays a key role in telling the story more so maybe than many other anime.
I'm actually glad you mentioned Fooly Cooly because an anime that I consider like similar in how it's presented, not necessarily similar in themes, is Black Rock Shooter. I don't think I ever even talked about this live on Rant Cafe. Have any of you seen it?
Yeah, I have. Man, I'm sorry. But I have. Man, the story gets bizarre.
Yeah, it's really weird. But I feel like no one talks about Black Rock Shooter. And the way it starts is you have like this very, mundane story going on. Like, you got these characters. You have a character that's sick. Like, it's very sad. And they're like visiting her at the hospital. And it's like, it's very real. And then it flips to this weird world where you have this girl in a cloak with like glowing eyes and this massive like weapon. And she's just slicing up these monsters and they're like invading a fortress. And it's like, what the hell is happening? And like the back and forth until you realize how it obviously meshes. And I think Black Rock Shooter and the whole animation in that like weird hellscape world, like it was wacky. It wasn't your typical fantasy setting. Like all the colors were like inverted, and there was also some CG, which I think made it feel more even though I don't love CG in anime so much,
Mhm.
it felt more out of place than it even was. Like, and I think it was animated beautifully. So
I think the main reason why it's not talked about so much is primarily because yes, the animation is very good and the cinematography is up there.
Gorgeous.
There's just not enough of a foundation in terms of a narrative that
Yeah.
gets people invested in the animation. Similar to why a lot of people didn't watch the animation in Naruto at the end is because the last few arcs are not great, and so people don't have that kind of investment, right?
Right,
Um,
but like when with Black Rock Shooter, I don't think you even realize what goes on until the whole thing's 8 episodes. It's not
Yeah.
like the super long show.
That's true.
But
That's
I
true.
feel like most people don't get there. I feel like
Yeah.
most people watch 1 or 2 and they're like, I have no idea what's happening. I'm out.
Yeah. By the way, I
Yeah.
was corrected for Fully Cooley. It's actually 6 episodes, but still like very manageable. Like one day.
Very bad.
Yeah. Same with
Like
Black
Ping
Rock
Pong-
Shooter, Animac. Check it out.
Yeah, Ping Pong Animation is 11 episodes of fucking amazingness.
Yeah.
you
Ping
know?
Pong
Yeah.
animation, I think, is a great example.
Okay,
of what we're talking about.
if we're gonna talk about animation and weird kind of styles, that's definitely got to be talked about.
Oh, yeah.
Ping Pong, the animation, a lot of people don't watch it because quote unquote it's ugly, but motherfucker, dude,
it took me years to watch it because of how the animation looked. Every time I would see it or see the opening, I would just be like, bro, what the hell,
weak
man?
mindset, dude. You gotta.
It was a weak mindset. Not
Yeah.
watching Ping Pong the animation because of the animation is such a
Is
weak
weak.
mindset.
It is because I found the entire theme of Ping Pong so good, right? Like the entire theme of talent versus hard work and what levels of like how much of talent do you need to succeed, how much of hard work do you need to succeed, and having a character who is incredibly talented but no hard work and a character who is talented and puts in just a little bit of hard work and seeing the results and all these other characters who have different levels of both. So good, dude.
Yeah, honestly,
So good.
I need to rewatch it.
Yeah,
I
same,
watched
man.
it like 5 years ago.
Yeah.
And I don't
watched
remember it enough.
I watched it the second, third time for 2 weeks ago, so that's why I'm like hyped about it. But
Damn.
it's really, really, really solid.
I really don't understand the mindset where people don't watch stuff because of how it looks. Like people are like,
Yeah.
"Oh, One Piece characters look weird. Ping Pong the animation looks bad."
Oh, Briggs, you're gonna make me go off, dude. A lot of my animator friends, they don't watch One Piece, and get this, because they show the molars of their teeth. I'm not even fucking with you. They don't like that it shows the inside of the
Who gives
teeth.
a fuck? It doesn't affect
I
the
do-
story.
Dude, that's what I'm saying. Like, who cares, dude?
Yeah, so that's an interesting debate to have because to me personally, I've never been like an animation snob, but there are people who are like, I don't like this animation, I don't like the color palette, I don't like this and that, I don't like stuff from like years ago because I just can't handle it. Recon. So basically, there is such great things that can come out of something that's not necessarily beautifully animated. Like we had the One Punch Man web novel example. We also have Nox. You've seen Wakfu with Nox and stuff, right? That was animated with a Flash player. Not really good at all.
Wakfu's animation, I think, was pretty bad, aside from like I'd say 3 episodes.
Yeah. But the story is still fun. So like the story is primary. But yeah, animation definitely enhances it. And if you have a marriage of great story and great animation, then that is the ideal.
Yeah. And Ludicrous Fun just gave another 5,000 bits to say Monogatari has an interesting style of animation. And Monogatari's animation's amazing. It's really good. Like, because also, depending on whose arc it is, it changes the animation style. And like there's long dialogue in Monogatari. Like the dialogue is one of the best freaking parts of Monogatari. So
Sorry, I just read a comment that
Yeah, what?
Ruby. What a shit show. What a shit show. Don't even talk about Ruby.
I just watched Ruby because I had to know. And I mean, let's say season 1 was terrible. Season 2 was not bad. Season 3 was interesting. The end of season 3 was like, whoa, it might be going somewhere.
No.
And it didn't.
Wow, we have very different opinions. I like the first 2 seasons of Ruby, and I don't like season 3 and onward.
I think season
I like
1
season 3. I didn't like
good.
4 onward.
I love Monty. So I'm a big fan of Rooster Teeth. I'm a big fan of Monty before he got into Rooster Teeth.
Rest in peace.
Monty And so when he started this entire series and showed up the red, black, white, yellow trailers, I was like, oh, I'm so hyped. And I found that the reason I was going into this is because of Monty's signature action-based style, right? And so season 1 was the best in that regards for me. I wanted that kind of action. I wanted that
So I
the
think
fight.
what it did well with its animation is
Mhm.
like so Ruby had this massive scythe that was also a gun, right? Like and the way they used that weapon, like she ended up falling off this spaceship, not a spaceship, this ship floating in the air, and she would shoot the gun at the floor, so the recoil of the shot can like sort of slow her fall, and she would be fine. Like there's really weird, like what's her name? Yang has boxing gloves that are also machine guns. You know, it's, like, it's that
But
weird mesh of like
I think
there's
so.
personality in the fight scenes of Ruby.
Yeah, it like if you hear Monty's interviews about that kind of stuff, that it is really good. So he wanted to have like he's just got a different mindset when it comes to action scenes. He said he wanted to have a weapon that operated and he could use the recoil of that to move around. So when she shoots the sniper rifle, it is A, to do damage with the actual rifle, but then B, the movement of the rifle, the recoil, she uses that to then hop around and use her sight to do close combat damage. And
Yeah.
so she always alternates to jump around and kill enemies. And I thought that was awesome. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
that's awesome. That's amazing. I think that's
Yeah.
honestly the highlight of Ruby. It's taking not necessarily just her fights, but it's it's looking at fight scenes through a more ingenuitive eye.
Oh, dude, a lot of the people in the chat, okay, I'm gonna call y'all out. Y'all have weak mindset, man. Y'all saying that I don't like CGI and 3D animation. Bro, I get it. CGI kind of can come across bad. I remember Berserk 2016. Don't worry about that. But I think recently
There was no Berserk 26.
You're right. Sorry. I forgot. Guys, imagine Berserk having a good anime adaptation. Lol.
Good one. That's almost as funny as before when you said Sakura was a good character.
Yeah, Sakura's a good character. Yeah, no, but I think recently there's been a big push to have decent CGI anime, like a Land of the Lustrous, bro.
Yeah,
That
gorgeous.
shit's bomb.
Beastars was fine. Beastars
Ajin,
was fine.
yeah,
Ajin was ugly, bro.
Ajin, the ugliness I thought complemented the story, which was ugly. Like the main character is this fucking disgusting character, dude. He is disgusting. I'm not sure how far you got into Ajin, but
Although I do have to say, Ajin, the opening to the second season is pretty fire.
I personally really disliked the Ajin animation as well, and I especially disliked how their faces were emotionless.
Yeah,
and that
I didn't like that.
Put me off because it just made the whole thing so robotic. Now,
Yeah,
bro, the animation in Kung Fu Panda, bro. Oh
I did
God.
like the Knights of Sidonia. I don't know if you've seen that.
Yeah.
Even though it's CGI, it gave me reservations. I actually thought the story was really compelling, a good sci-fi, so I enjoyed it even though it was CGI.
Right. If you really do like the kind of facial stuff, that's why I found Beastar so engaging. Right.
Yeah.
So
there weren't people, so we didn't have to see back faces.
Yeah, well, yeah, I guess so. But they did like a facial animation, like because in anime, I think we've all taken we've just kind of taken for granted the fact that the faces don't really move. And so when Beastar, when it moved all the time, it added so much more to the voice acting, which is already excellent because they recorded it all together in a room.
Yeah,
right
so I actually watched it dubbed.
animation.
Not gonna lie.
I see. Okay,
I watched
so
it
that
dubbed.
might change things, but this, I'm a sub kind of guy.
Same.
I usually am as well, but Beastars, it was on Netflix, and like I was doing other things at the same time when I started it, so I just put it on dub.
Yeah.
What were you
No,
making thumbnails, you bastard?
Well.
Yeah, so
I will say that
Beastar's great.
Bat fan in the chat called me out saying that I was talking about some people don't like color palettes, and I really didn't like the color palette in No Game No Life. It's
Amazing
true.
color palette.
I thought it was
fantastic.
I thought it was over the top and too distracting. However, I still
I
looked
love
at it for the story. I wouldn't say just because of that I don't like No Game No Life or something.
Yeah,
But
fair.
I thought it was kind of like over the top and just like kind of jarring. Like the crazy color palette, but
it's an over-the-top world that's like
Bro,
all about games,
bro.
so I think it's perfect.
The animation of how Kazuma wiggled his fingers when he stole their panties.
yeah.
Look,
Right?
I no game, no life. All right, listen, I'm a straight man. All right, I'm gonna say right here, the animation, I love No Game No Life, but I actually thought the ecchi moments distracted away from the actually good story. I was like, dude, this is a solid story.
Yeah, you know why though? Because the ecchi moments were so contrived. They weren't like great ecchi moments like in Keijo where the story calls for it or Kill la
No.
Kill. They were just
No.
like,
My
oh,
man's
weird
spitting
power
facts.
scene.
Spitting
Yeah,
facts.
I didn't love the ecchi moments in No Game No Life either. I still think it was a great anime, but
Yes,
I don't
I
think
agree.
that it's not.
And
The ecchi moments detracted, if anything.
I also
Well,
find that
I
this,
feel like the ecchi moments weren't part of like, or most of the time weren't involved in like the main battles.
Yeah.
Like the one time
like-
it was.
I'll give you an
was
example,
in the
like,
battle
when he
against
was-
Jabril. The one
yes,
time.
I was about to say that.
The one time
Yes.
it was, and that was beautifully
and
implemented.
that was great. Ecchi moments.
But
10
then the
out of
other
10 ecchi
times,
moments.
like they don't take away from the series for me. Like if it was during main moments and then they were like it didn't add anything of value, I would complain. But a lot of times they're just like in the episodes while there's comedic scenes happening or used for comedic value. But it's not during like the main fight scene or the ending of the specific arc or something. They don't use the ecchi to distract from the series.
Awkward scenes. Like, do I really need to see Princess Useless Face giving Shiro a bath? Like,
How
honestly,
dare you call that? That's
yeah, so,
Yeah, but it's like the bath scene was like after a main battle or a main challenge or something. Like they don't
Yeah.
use it doesn't distract from the series in my opinion,
No,
or it doesn't
I-
make the
I
good
didn't-
moments bad.
but all I'm
Yeah.
saying is I didn't love the ecchi in.
Same.
I did
wasn't
not like
amazing.
the ecchi in No Game No Life, but I still think No Game No Life was a great show. Whereas Animac thinks it was a bad show.
No, I don't. I think it was just an okay show. But
Yeah.
No Game No Life is still better ecchi than like Kakegurui, where the ecchi is just like random upskirt shots that make no sense whatsoever in the
Well,
story.
I just didn't like Kakegurui at all. Like,
Me
I just
neither.
did not like that show. I thought it was bad.
I
Bad.
find that with ecchi shows like that, it definitely does depend upon whether it's natural or not. With No Game No Life, I also just want to say that the entire talk about the color scheme, I think that's super valid because yes, the theme of it is a world based on whether or not games can rule, whether they can decide on things based on games, and so they have a color scheme that matches. But sometimes it can be distracting, and if it is distracting to someone, I think that's valid. I think it's
fair.
it
I
is
thought it looked
fair.
beautiful, but
I
Yeah,
agree.
I loved it.
I really liked it as well. I also like a lot of people are saying it's not great or mediocre. I think it's good. I'd probably say 7, but I was more interested in the fact that the world was actually believable. Like I could believe that this was a world where games took precedent over everything else.
because if everyone that you met, you realized how much they valued games, and games were
Yeah.
everything. It affected every aspect of the world.
Yeah.
Yeah, it sucks that I'm not a gamer.
You know, that's the problem. That's probably why you don't appreciate it. You're just not
No,
a
but
gamer.
actually, I do love games like I just said, Risk and Chess. and
When was the last
Strat-
time you played a game, Animac?
Well, it's been a while, but
Let's
that's
see.
because none of my friends want to play strategy games. They all want to play shoot 'em up, fucking space westerns.
Yo, Fortnite, let's drop in, boys. Let's drop in.
But I do have to mention, in terms of animation, I have to mention how great I think that the Ghibli movies, the Miyazaki movies, bring
Oh,
out nature
course.
and forces
Yeah.
of nature,
Yeah.
and also
Absolutely.
Mushishi. Also, I love the
Yes.
nature in that.
Yes. So
Facts.
People are getting
Made in
mad at me
Abyss,
for not
I
mentioning
think
Food
Made in
Wars. Food
Abyss.
Wars has the
All
best
right,
ecchi.
Food Wars does it have the best ecchi?
I mean, it's one of the best
Yes.
ecchis
Yeah,
implemented
it does.
into a
so.
story.
I agree with
think
you.
so. Yes.
I agree with you. Hey, Maz, you watched Food Wars since our collab.
No, I'd already seen Food Wars, man. I've seen all of it.
Oh,
Yeah,
thought-
I read the manga for
Ranger
that shit.
with another 1,000, I believe, magical
Okay.
crystals.
Without spoiling, is the ending last arc bad?
Of Food Wars?
Yeah, if you've read the manga.
Yeah, it is.
Fuck! God damn it! I'm really hoping that the anime brings it to life because I read part of the manga and I enjoyed the anime variation much more.
It's not. So this is the same. So this is what we're talking about when it comes to Demon Slayer. This is the opposite effect where this guy had a very ambitious goal and it just doesn't I don't know why it ended so rapidly, but it just doesn't pan out. It's the same thing with Hitman Reborn. I love Hitman Reborn. I will die by Hitman Reborn, but the ending of the manga was so rushed because it got canceled, Ending is disappointing. I wouldn't say it's over. It is probably overhated. People rag on it probably a bit too much, but it's definitely disappointing when it comes to what this guy was trying to do. You know.
Okay. Well, like I can't trust people because people were saying that season was it the last season that it was animated. People were saying that wasn't good, and I thought it was fantastic. So
Yeah.
I read the manga, so I don't know what that is.
it ends.
That
with,
was they were up against Azami and all the seats. Like it ended with the seat 1 and seat 2 versus Erina and Soma.
It was the second half of the Team Shokugeki.
Okay. Yeah. All right. No, that's good stuff. Like the sushi battle, that shit, like the sushi guy, that shit.
Yeah, that was great. The samurai, the guy the Bushido, sushi guy.
I love that guy, bro. Like,
yeah, it was great.
Come on, I'm a big sushi boy. Anyway, Food Wars got canceled. Yeah, I thought so because the ending was so rushed, and it reminded me a lot of Hitman Reborn that it probably did get canceled. So I'm sorry. I'm sad to see that it did get canceled.
You hate to
Before
see
we wrap up this conversation, we have to talk about JoJo's, I think.
Hold on. Before JoJo's, there are a few quick ones that I would like to kind of shoot through because, I guess we don't have time to talk about all this. It's so sad. I think Made in Abyss has some beautiful animation.
Yeah, I agree.
Just like as they're going down there and it's panning around and you're looking around, it's gorgeous. Yeah. I think Hellsing Ultimate has some truly horrifying animation that really brings that whole war to life.
Yeah, that and Monster are great examples of how to make it more horrifying than the manga. It's incredible.
Facts. Those two examples of just like horror. I think another amazing bit of animation was Saber using Excalibur in Fate Zero.
Yeah, that was pretty
against
decent.
Caster. That was gorgeous. I think Madoka Magica, especially the movie Rebellion.
Oh, dude, that scene in which it transitions from like it shows you what it actually is about.
Oh my god, dude!
Yeah.
That twist. Animac and Briggs haven't seen Rebellion.
Don't say anymore. But that twist and that moment that happens, like the sudden animation, the animation that happens, so.
I fucked up.
It changes from like one of the greatest like uplifting moments to just darkness.
Yeah, dude, I fucked up huge. I watched 2 episodes. I didn't know I was kind of part of the community, but I didn't really hear anyone talk about Madoka Magica. I just watched it on a whim. I watched 2 episodes. I'm like, all right, I'm not really a big fan, and moved on to something else. Apparently, episode 3 or something.
Yep.
Huge tonal shift.
Yep.
Episode 3 is when it starts getting good, and the movie Rebellion is beautiful.
And I didn't even think the first 2 episodes were bad. I just wasn't really into it myself based off on like my personal taste. So I'm just like, all right, let's move on to something else.
Yeah.
Fuck, I messed up on that one. I want to watch it. It's not too late, but I have a never-ending list.
Oh, there's some good suggestions here as well. Like, I want to do a big talk about JoJo, so like let's just save that. For the end.
That's what I'm saying. Save JoJo's for the end.
Like, I really love like old psychological animes, like One Out and
One Out. Bro, Briggs, get the hell on that. Now that right there, top 3 sports anime of all time.
One Out it's still to this day so unique. Like I've never seen an anime like this, dude. The way they bend the rules of baseball and they literally dig into the most finite, weird rules to really fuck with you as an audience member and the people in the actual anime.
The thing is, I hate baseball. I think it's the most boring sport on the planet. I'm sorry, Americans watching baseball sucks.
I have no idea what the rules of baseball are anyway. So that means
no, One Outs isn't really about twisting. Like they have a different game that they introduce called One Outs. One Outs is its own game. It's this weird gambling sports anime. And
somebody just says 189 IQ game. It is.
Yes. Yeah, baby.
189.
It's like Ultimate Survivor Kaiji. It's the crazy hijinks in Kaiji, just in like this baseball setting. And the main, I don't know if you'd consider him the main character or the second main character, like the dude with the blonde hair.
Yeah.
You know, like that guy. He's one of my favorite anime characters ever.
I agree.
Like, damn.
Quick ones from my end. Parasite the Maxim, good animation there.
Facts.
When he's transitioned from human to kind of taken over, I really like that they kind of shifted the animation from really kind of war.
And honestly, I think
stilted.
that the best animated moment in that show, like that really just got to show you how scary these parasites are, is this guy Goto, I think his name was. Like, he was
Yeah.
like 5 parasites, and he went and he took on like this whole like little mafia organization. And
Yeah.
then the police were chasing him down, and
Oh.
a whole bunch of police officers with like assault rifles kind of thing. They show up in the room and they're pointing at him, and he's this politician. And they're like, "Wait, what are you like? You're not the monster."
Yeah.
And he's like, "Oh, yes, I am," or
Great-
something like
great
that. And he
scheme.
morphs into this crazy, like, oh, that was amazing.
You
Parasite
mentioning the
we
mafia
just spoiled
scene
that Parasite has
made me. Have you guys seen Inuyashiki?
Inuyashiki. I saw the
Yeah.
first episode. I didn't.
That
finish.
shit is wild, dude. It's CG animated,
I
but
know.
dude, that shit is so wild. It's about this teenager who is kind of like psychopathic and this
Well,
old guy.
It's not. Yeah, it's about the old guy mostly.
No. So it's about two characters. It is. It's about two characters. It's the first episode only shows the old guy, but then it shows the other guy as well. So this old guy who family doesn't care about him and he just wants to kind of live a meaningful life, and this teenager who doesn't really give a shit about life, and they get access to like they die and they get rebuilt by aliens to get all this really fancy technology inside them.
Yeah.
And watching them just go about like what they want to actually do is crazy. The old guy starts off very good. He wants to be lawful, do help out people, cure cancer. And the other guy, man, there's literally an episode I'm sure you guys have seen on Twitter where he goes into a house,
Yeah, I've seen that.
kills everyone, and says, "Hey, what's your favorite character in One Piece?" And he just asks really casually, but it starts delving into like gray areas. Like the guy who's trying to be good starts like murdering people to be good, and the guy who's trying to be bad starts like still being bad, but like in with good side effects. You know, he's doing it for good reasons. You know, good shit.
I almost started watching that just for that One Piece scene. I get tagged in it so frequently.
Yeah. Honestly, Tower of Simp, Tower of God. Tower of God. What do you guys think about Tower of God? Have you guys seen it?
Yeah, we all have already voiced our opinions, but I would love to hear yours.
So I've just finished it ish. I've caught up in it now.
What, in the manga? Manhwa?
No. As in the anime, the webtoon is terrible. Oh my god.
No, the art's bad. It's really bad.
Like as in like not even the art. Like the story is not as concise as the anime. So
yeah, and
once again,
they say it gets good at like chapter 400 though. So
yeah,
No need to worry.
no need to worry.
With the
You'll
anime,
be there in a jiffy.
I actually enjoy it quite a lot. Primarily because once again, I like the fact the world is actually unique, and it's almost isekai, almost fantasy, almost psychedelic. It's very psychedelic actually. Like it just doesn't make sense half the time, but every time they introduce a new concept, I'm just more entranced into the world. I actually find the concept of the Princess of Jihad and the anima, and the fact that like the light bearer and the spear bearer, I can get involved into the world, you know. And I agree the characters are not super fleshed out, and there are some character inconsistencies here and there, but I still feel like the world is so interesting. It'll keep me hooked on to the next season, just to understand what's happening within Tower of God.
Yeah, I agree. I'm really enjoying.
I'm pretty much in the same place, more or less.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's pretty good. I'm enjoying it. It's not like
Main character's a fucking simp though. Let's be honest, man.
massive, dude.
Everyone in the comment who's like bomb is one dimensional. You 100%. He's a fucking simp lord, bro. God damn.
I'm not gonna lie. I think that Interspecies Reviewers is unironically better than Tower of God.
Without a doubt.
Well,
I mean-
Interspecies Reviewers, it's you're saying it like it's like a bad show, and then it's a funny comparison, but it's
It's
just
a modern classic.
modern classic. Yeah.
Jesus
Um,
Christ.
Let's talk about JoJo's and wrap it up. Everyone knows I hate Tower of God.
4,000 bits from Langer.
I'm
Interspecies
actually, like-
Reviewers 10 out of 10.
So,
Agreed.
a little fact about me, Briggs, is that I actually started off with an anime review channel, and then I moved into an animation channel.
No way.
Yeah, so they're like 4 or 5 year old anime review on My Hero back when I really was loving it because Naruto sucked and I needed a replacement. And then My Hero started going downhill. But I'm actually like writing a review again for the first time in years about Tower of God. I'm actually curious to hear why you dislike it so much.
Well, I've only watched 2 episodes, so take that
Right.
with like
Just-
from your thing.
So Rick, he just hates on stuff for memes.
No, I exaggerate my hatred for memes. There's a difference.
Oh,
Yeah.
So I do dislike the series because off the 2 episodes, I didn't enjoy any of the characters. They all seem very bland to me. I think
Yuri
Kun-
Ha, bro. How could you not enjoy Yuri Ha, you plebeian?
Okay. Wait, Yuri Ha, is that the princess?
Yes.
Yeah, she
one-
brought nothing to the table for me. So I'm a very character-driven person. I didn't like any of the characters.
Yeah.
Off the 2 episodes, the world I feel like the world might become intriguing, but like they didn't give me anything to catch my interest. I just could tell that it's not a series for me pretty quick. Maybe
Yeah,
it's gonna pull a Madoka Magica, and I'll regret it in the future.
Okay.
It's more
It
of a
might be.
Madoka Magica.
I think that's actually such a good. You framed it in a really great way that I can probably use. It's that it's definitely not a show if you are a character-driven. Like if you watch anime for the characters, it's not the strongest in that regard. If you watch it for the world, you'll definitely love it. I think.
Mhm.
Yeah, I don't know.
And
I think that
the
it'll
character interactions within the first two episodes felt very weird to me.
Yeah, and there's definitely some. It doesn't that character interaction does not improve later on. The tone. There's one tonal inconsistency that I don't like about it, which is that in Tower of God, a lot of people die. A lot of people die.
And no
then
one
there's
cares.
Yeah, and then there's a lot of episode. There's one episode in which they're just like, I don't want these guys to die, and I'm just like, what? And then thankfully in the next episode they get murdered brutally, and it's so they keep the kind of consistency of that going, but the characters don't really evolve to have meaningful interactions with each other. I think.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm
Alright,
okay with it.
JoJo.
I think it's
and
JoJo
Animax,
time. Let's end it
you're
off with
about to
JoJo's.
see Animac. You're about to watch one of the greatest animated moments of all time in Hunter x Hunter. You're up to Meruem versus Netero.
Oh, good thing I didn't mention that moment because I was going to mention that moment.
Dude.
It's already started, yeah. So I'm seeing that like right now. I'm at the part where he does that heart.
Oh, so you saw it.
Bro,
Chimera-
what? So you already saw the freaking massive Guardian Bodhisattva or whatever the hell.
Yeah, amazing. Yeah.
Chimera
Bro, that was
and Arc
amazing.
though. Oh,
Animac doesn't like the Chimera Ant arc. I don't understand this,
I
man.
do like it. See, this is the thing. I think Hunter x Hunter is really good, but the reason I don't think it's amazing is because the pacing is so slow in some parts.
I know.
And-
Animac is spitting facts right here.
Yeah. Like the invasion of the palace, it
Mhm.
takes so long and so much of the narrator talking and stuff.
Dude, there's that one invasion episode that's so good though. I will agree the pacing's a little bit
Yeah.
slow for Chimera Ant arc, but there's one
I
episode
like
with the
the
narrator where
pacing.
they describe every scene, every moment, every little thing, how it changed the circumstances of the invasion, and it was awesome.
Yes.
Yeah, but I don't like that because it's like it is a great story and such great things are happening, and they keep just like slowing it down instead of like going all out and showing you this awesomeness. You're like, I want to see this happen, but it's like it is in that moment that Octopus guy
Yeah.
started fighting. I don't care about Octopus guy versus Colada, bro.
Has
Yeah,
Nux,
as
has
an
Animax
animation
seen
guy.
Go Wild yet? Rage moment?
No.
Okay,
no.
then we won't
Right
talk about that.
He's all like pissed off and waiting for Pito to finish the healing thing.
No,
Yeah.
so like as an animation kind of guy, I fucking when I watched it for the first time because I watched it twice. The first time I couldn't believe the hype of that narrator. I was like, yeah, go for it, bro. 1 second, all this shit is happening. But when I watched the a second time when I started doing animation, I realized not that it wasn't bad. I just feel like they could have definitely made it better in terms
I mean,
of
I
showing.
like the narrator.
I agree
look,
with you with the
I,
narration being a good thing, but I feel like the narration could have been done from an internal source, like the actual characters, that could have provided a more personal, a bit more nuance
there were-
to what they're feeling.
There were too many perspectives to do it from characters. I think, honestly, the Chimera Ant arc in Hunter x Hunter is one of those few arcs that's just an easy 10 out of 10. It's
But
an easy 10 out of 10 arc.
The York New arc has such amazing pacing, and comparing it to that, you know,
Ludicrous Fund with 5,000 bits. Oh my god, you legend. The Hunter x Hunter
Yeah.
Phantom Troop Requiem scene was beautiful.
Yeah,
that was my
yeah.
favorite moment in
Yes,
all of Hunter x Hunter.
Yes, I
That was
agree
my
with that.
favorite moment altogether.
I agree with that.
But as far as an overall arc, and I do
No,
like
no.
the
I-
love York New. I love York.
I've always give anime the Chimera Ant arc a 9 simply because you gotta admit the start of it was slow, man. Compared to the ending, the start of it was not nearly as well
I
paced.
think it's a build-up. It's all a build-up. And
I agree,
I
yeah.
think Chimera Ant arc and York Nu are two easy 10 out of 10 arcs. They're both easily 10 out of 10.
Nux, would you give part 4 of JoJo's a 10 out of 10?
No.
All right, thank God.
Yeah, thank God. But
No, definitely not. No,
The
absolutely.
ending of Chimera Ant, bro. Okay, I won't spoil it. I really won't. But man, I was crying for like so long, bro. So
Watch
fucking long.
Animax gonna finish. It's just the end, bro.
Yeah, bro. My prediction now is that Manram is just going to become a simp for humans.
Well, we're not
Bro.
gonna tell you anything, but
I want to agree
dude, when
that
you
the
finish
entire-
the Chimera Ant arc, we're doing an episode of Rant Cafe on the Chimera Ant arc.
Yeah, 100%. Because I won't give the entire arc a 10 out of 10, but that specific when the king is
No,
introduced.
spoil! No, please, no, don't spoil.
Okay,
it.
never mind. When it's whatever. But from that point onwards, best,
Dude,
10 out of 10.
From where you're at right now until the end of the Chimera Ant arc, if you don't like anything, I don't even want to talk to you anymore. bro.
Lol.
All right,
Do you
JoJo
think
Boys.
JoJo
This is a very
Shia
long
LaBeouf-
episode.
The development that Shia LaBeouf had, bro. What?
Shia LaBeouf.
It's crazy.
Do you think that JoJo is a good series?
Yeah, I love JoJo's.
I think JoJo's
Yeah.
is great.
Okay. What about part 3?
I like all of JoJo's. I don't think it's all equally good as far as quality goes. I think part 3 has some amazing scenes. Like I think Jotaro versus Dio, Jotaro versus Darby.
Great.
Like
Great.
these are 10 out of 10 fights. Overall, I wouldn't say so. I mean, some scenes are amazing, but
Well, the ending of
overall,
both seasons of part 3 is great. It does get a little bit
Yeah.
repetitive, but there are great moments. So I
Yeah,
think
I
think
found
that
the
summed it up.
first season of part 3 is genuinely not great. Like it's not. It's very like antagonist of the week. You don't really get that many character
I mean-
moments, you know?
So I more or less I do agree with you. Even though there are some, even in like in part 3, the first season of part 3, there were a lot of good scenes.
There
that I
were.
liked.
There were. Yeah.
But overall, no. For me, JoJo's has transcended the anime itself. I love
No,
it so
but-
much because of the weird meme culture that evolved through JoJo's.
I agree.
Yeah.
I really do, but I think you as like as people who watch anime and have built you guys more so than me, but have built a branding off of anime. I think you just have to sit down and think like, is JoJo actually worth the hype it gets? And I feel like, personally, yes, yes, because not so much because the anime is 10 out of 10 god tier best thing anime ever in the world, but more so because it is so influential, right? Like this fucking anime is in everything. I watched One Punch Man recently. Dude, there's so many JoJo references One Punch Man.
I mean, there's JoJo references in No Game No Life. There's JoJo
Everything.
references in Food Wars.
I don't think
everything,
influence should
dude.
increase the like what
No,
you
I don't
your-
think influence increases it either. Like I wouldn't,
But
even though Dragon Ball is one of the most influential anime of all time, I wouldn't give it a 10 out of 10. I would give it a 7, maybe.
The point of
But-
influence that I'm raising is not because people are somehow influenced to
Right.
put it into
But
things.
that's
It's
what I
more
was
so
gonna say.
because the anime
Agreed.
itself is so bizarre in concept and execution that it actually did change a lot of mindsets about how to approach anime. It took itself not seriously. It knew it was a bit of a meme. And I think that was what was really unique about JoJo. And having read the manga now, part 7, Rolling Stone. Rolling Stone?
I
Wait,
didn't.
no.
I didn't read it.
Dude, so actually, like part 7 is great. I thought part 4 was good. I actually really enjoyed part 4.
I also
I-
did. Same.
So if I was to rank it, I'd say part 4 for me, number 1. I actually fucking love part 2 and 1. I few of the comments in the Twitch stream at like part 2 is boring. I actually thought
part 2 is 9.5 out of 10.
Part 2 is my favorite part.
If I'd have to give it
Yeah.
a number.
I really like part 2. The characters are so good. Like
that makes a lot of sense. I'm a very character-driven guy. Part 2 is my
Yeah.
favorite part
yeah,
by far.
absolutely.
It's very
Absolutely.
consistent because it's short as well.
Yeah,
See,
I
but
felt
the
like
thing I love about JoJo's is the vibe of JoJo's. It's
Yeah.
like, speaking of amazing animated moments, the torture dance scene in part 5, I think bar none is one of my favorite moments in anime. It's so stupid Like, if you think about it, okay, you have this dude who they're torturing. They unzipped his head from his body. He's hanging from his eyelid attached to a fishing rod on the side of a boat. They put a magnifying glass to fry his eyeball, and you have these three gangsters with completely stone cold expressions where you don't even see their eyes, and they're just dancing to this wacky music.
I love the moment.
That is amazing.
Part 2, Pillar Man introduction. And that shit had me rolling, dude. I couldn't believe it. I was
JoJo
and right when they introduce him, they get
its own aesthetic. Like JoJo has its own aesthetic musically and visually, and it's its own animal, like its own beast. You gotta just roll with it.
Oh, dude, wait until part 6 when they introduced Jolene. I thought part 5's JoJo, like Giorno, was not as likable as Joseph and Jotaro, you know?
So I think Giorno is more of a background character in part 5. Like, he only had 2 fights in the whole show, pretty much.
Yeah, so I think the entire story of part 5 was more about the Familia, like the Mafia, kind of, you know? I like that. I think that's fine. But, dude, the contrast between him and Jolene is going to be fucking... You're not even ready for that, bro. That shit is wild.
I need to read JoJo.
Yeah.
Oh, did I say Giovanni? I'm sorry. I meant...
No. You said Giorno.
Okay.
By the way, guys, we are only a few Power Stones away from overtaking CEO Vengeful Wife. So, you know.
Animac, can you stop, please? We're talking about JoJo's. What could be more important than talking about JoJo's while we're talking about JoJo's?
Well, definitely
People are
not
saying
CEO
part
Vengeful
6.
Wife.
People are saying part 6 is okay in story-wise. No, I look, I'm not saying part 6 is gonna be good overall. I'm just saying Jolene as a character, dude, just you wait. Part 7 as a story though, fucking wild. That entire part is like, I know I have to wait 8 more years until that's probably in anime form, but guys, part 7, man, that shit is a roller coaster.
Well, I definitely need to get on this manga. But anywho. So as far as animated scenes though, Torture Dance definitely kind of, you know, that's my point. It's that wacky style that I love so much about JoJo's. The weird, like, I love how he even has the same jokes that he like brings to life in different ways. You have that funny gay scene in part 3 and in part 5. It's basically the same joke told twice. And
Bro,
it's so funny.
It's
so
bromance
funny.
scene, okay?
Bro, Ludicrous Fun with 4,000 more bits.
Somebody
And
just
we also
fucking...
had
Toki's voice actor voices Joseph Joestar, and I think that's beautiful. That's
really cool.
We also
Somebody just said
Johnny
that they
Let's Talk
skipped...
Anime gave 1,000 magical crystals.
Oh, and thank you, the anime. Johnny Talks Anime. Hell yeah.
Somebody said people skipping JoJo parts. That's cursed, bro. Don't fucking do that.
Oh,
Yo,
God.
Why?
That's
Yeah,
cursed.
it's only 11 episodes, part 1, and I will agree it's not amazing, but it was very enjoyable for me.
Dude, what really threw me off about part 1 was because I agree with you. It was enjoyable. It wasn't like, I wouldn't say it's fantastic, but I guess I'm so accustomed to shonen/action anime having such thick plot armor that, spoiler alert for season 1 of JoJo, a decade-old manga and a series, but when he died, like genuinely died, I was like, huh? What? And then it was like
holy crap.
I thought there was gonna be plot armor, like, oh, he's gonna get off the boat, he's gonna be fine, you know. The guy from Berserk's gonna pick him up on his boat, you know. But then he died, and I was like, what? And then part 2 is like, oh, yo, I'm his grandson. I was like, what the fuck? I couldn't believe it, bro. That actually like threw me off so much, and I loved it.
I think part 2 from A to Z is the best way to get into JoJo's. I think definitely start at the beginning. Definitely watch part 1. But if you go through part 2 and you're not vibing, then you're probably dead.
I like part 1 of JoJo's because I appreciate like gothic literature and stuff. So I thought it was really cool. But
oh, dude, it's not a spoiler for a future part, but like if y'all thought that the stands for the villains were getting complicated in 4 and 5, funny Valentines, bro. I guess you know. I won't say too much. But Funny Valentine, it's a character coming up, and their stand just fucking breaks you, man. That doesn't mean...
And also, JoJo's is something else when it comes to sound effects too. It's like the Zawado sound effect, like that crazy, like that's amazing. And King Crimson also has a great one. Like,
King of Crimson.
and so does the the timer in Bites is a Dusto.
Yeah.
Like that ticking as it goes back in time.
That's so fucking good, dude.
Oh my
Yeah,
god.
that's on dreams. Yeah.
The openings also changing with the
Yes, with
arc.
the antagonists, bro.
Yeah. When he starts saying Latin, bro, it's like everything you've done will get shrouded into darkness, and it's just, and then Giorno's activation, his stand activates. Yeah. Oh my god, I'm actually
Bro.
fucking hyped
And
again.
the craziest thing I think in the openings in part 5 is the first scene of the first shot of opening 1. Right behind, there's that big statue of Giorno.
Yeah.
Right
Yeah.
behind that, there's the outline of the divining the rolling stone in the shape of Bucciarati.
Oh, that's wild.
Like in the
dude.
first shot of Golden Wind that you see, when it's in Fighting Gold, right behind that you have Rolling Stone. It's all part of fate, bro. JoJo's is next level. It's next level. It's in its own league.
I love
Yep.
that.
No one can deflect Emerald Splash. What can I say?
We stand. All right, I think that's like JoJo wrapped up. I think.
JoJo wrapped up. Well, thank you, TheAMaazing. Maz, thank you very much for joining us. I mean,
Yeah,
hell
Maz.
yeah.
Pleasure meeting you.
No, pleasure.
Bro, this has been an hour and 45 minutes of just weaving out, and it was so much fun. Honestly, this was such a fun episode. It's been a while since I've had this much fun on Rant Cafe. Thank you, Amazon, for joining us, man.
Thanks. Oh, wow.
I mean, I'm a One Piece virgin guy. I think the One Piece virgin far surpasses Rant Cafe. No offense. But then every once in a while, we have a gem episode like this, and
Maz comes one time and he's like, "Oh, I love this so much."
I don't know what he's saying. What did he say?
No, it's just because like I never get the chance to weeb out, and I've just watched anime because I grew up in Japan and got to watch anime natively, right? And so and then when I went to a Western world, I could watch more and introduce more. I just fucking love anime, bro.
Yeah.
Well,
Stan.
you're definitely invited back to the Rant Cafe on a future date.
mean?
Unfortunately, it's at a terrible time for you. But I mean,
No,
I'm sorry.
it's all good. I'll do it for anime, bro. I literally got to weeb out for 2 hours in the morning of my day, so this is a great day.
I know you're probably gonna leave the podcast and go back to sleep.
Yeah, probably.
Oh no, I'm sorry, but yeah, this was a lot of fun, and I think that the animation and adaptations of different stories really help bring them to life better. I don't think they make or break a show, but I do think that they can enhance the experience drastically. And with that all said, thank you
Agreed.
all so much. This was epic.
Absolutely. Check us out, guys. We're back again next week. We have the One Piece version podcast and a lot of fun stuff, novel, etc. Thank you again, Maz. Thank you, Knox and Briggs.
Knox and Briggs!
Nuts and Briggs.
And until next time, see us, Space Cowboys.
Bang.
Bang!
Later, guys.
Nice.
That was awesome.
Hell yeah.
That was so much fun.